All right, welcome in. It is Monday, November the 28th, and we are in State Football Championship Week. Bruce Hooley with you here on the Lowdown, presented by Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. The week we've been waiting for all season long. Of course, why? Because if you are a MAC fan, you know that a MAC team almost always plays for a state football championship. For instance, this will be the 13th year out of the last 14 that at least one MAC team has played for a state championship, and we have two. And this will be, and I'm just working off memory here in my 3-year career with Press Pros, the third consecutive year, and maybe more than that, that at least two MAC teams have made it, because we have Marion Local seeking the Division 6 championship on Saturday morning and New Bremen seeking the Division 7 championship on Saturday afternoon. So let's run through it. We have the games start Thursday night. Hoban plays for the state title, and it's in Division 2. And I can't for the life of me remember who Hoban plays, but Hoban looks very, very good and very, very difficult to take down. So that's when we'll get started. And then on Friday, Bloom Carroll, which knocked out Tippecanoe on Friday night at London. Bloom Carroll will play Canfield. That game is Friday at 3 o'clock. There is, of course, a Friday 10:30 game. Friday, Saturday, there are games at 10:30, 3, and 7:30. So Bloom Carroll and Canfield, that game might take an hour and a half because neither one of them throws the ball much. And that'll be a phenomenal matchup. But Friday night, Division I state championship, a rematch of last year, Lakewood St. Ed and Springfield. Springfield last year had Tayshawn Smoot at quarterback. He's at Jacksonville State right now. The Springfield Wildcats replace him with Arcanum's Bryce Schondelmeyer, and he threw for 4 TDs on Friday night at Pickwas Alexander Stadium, knocking out Cincinnati Moeller for the second year in a row in the regional, well, in the state semifinals. So it's Springfield, led by Bryce Schondelmeyer and an array of Division I talent at wide receiver, including Anthony Brown, who caught the game winner, taking on Lakewood St. Ed. And we'll see if Springfield can slow down St. Ed's running game. We'll see if St. Ed's defense can hang with Springfield's passing game. That'll be a phenomenal matchup for the Division I state title on Friday night, a rematch. Okay, let's go to Saturday. It's a rematch, kind of, sort of. Kirtland and Marion Local have played 3 times in state championship games previously, and Kirtland has won 2 of those. But Marion Local has the state record with 12 state championships. Marion Local moves up a division from 7. They're defending 7 champions from last year. They won it in a walkover against Newark Catholic. Kirtland defeated in the state championship game by Versailles last year, ending a 50-plus game winning streak by Kirtland. Kirtland moves down a division, and they take on Marion Local. So that game, 10:30 a.m. Saturday morning. It's a little early in the day for popcorn, but get your popcorn ready. Marion Local and Kirtland, a game that everybody all season long has been pointing toward. Cary, the defending 6th champion, was knocked out. Coldwater was thought to be a team that could win it too, because Coldwater had Marcel Blasingame and didn't miss a beat from a year ago until Marcel got hurt. And that kind of took Coldwater down a notch. Coldwater fell out. We always thought all year long it'd be one of 4 teams winning the title in Division 6. Cary, the defending champion, or it would be Kirtland, Marion Local, or Coldwater. Well, here we are. It's Marion Local and it's Kirtland, 2 teams that are undefeated, 2 teams that both have a boatload of shutouts on their resume. Tim Goodwin and the Marion Local Flyers going for their 13th state title. We will see if it can happen, and we will have it, of course, right here on the free content site that is PressProsMagazine.com. Then right after that one, another MAC team, New Bremen, takes aim, trying to duplicate the feat that Versailles, really easy for me to say, Versailles pulled off last year. What am I talking about? Winning a state championship as a 5 seed. I mentioned this to David Homan 2 weeks ago when New Bremen won a game in the snow against Ansonia. I said, Versailles was a 5 seed last year. He said, yeah, I know. So we'll see if that's magical and if it's good fortune for New Bremen. And New Bremen ought to be feeling like, hey, we've been here before, because on Saturday night, they knocked out Lima Central Catholic in a thriller, just like their state semifinal thriller over Lima Central Catholic 2 years ago when New Bremen had upset Marion Local to win the regional. Guess who New Bremen now plays for the state title? That's right. The team that New Bremen beat for the 2020 state championship, Warren JFK. Warren JFK has been on top of the polls all season long. That game is at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. We'll see what happens. David Homan, Hunter Schaefer, Aaron Tiemann, Ben Saylor and the New Bremen Cardinals trying to win a second state championship in 3 years and a second state championship for New Bremen this fall because the New Bremen girls volleyball team laid waste to the Division 7 field like 3 weeks ago at the Nutter Center. So a lot for us to talk about tonight on the Press Pros Magazine Huddle Show at 8 o'clock. I didn't even get to Ohio State losing to Michigan. I got a lot to say about the reaction to that, not so much about the game because that's what happens. Rivalry games, one team makes plays, one team does not. That team that makes the plays wins. That's what I saw. But to hear the assessments coming out of Ohio State's loss to Michigan, you'd think that the Ohio State football program is in need of some major correction. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Luke Fickell stunning people by leaving Cincinnati on the cusp of going to the Big 12. Luke Fickell going to Wisconsin. Why does the Wisconsin job fit Luke Fickell, or does it? We'll discuss that tonight. So mark your calendars, 8 o'clock tonight. We will be live. We will be taking your questions via Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching in Northeast Ohio, you want to know about Marion Local, great. We'd love to know more about Kirtland. We'd love to know about the teams that you're following at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. And here's the one factoid you need to remember. When you're heading to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, you are so close to Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store, because if you're going across Route 30, coming from the west side of Ohio, across Route 30 on your way to Canton, you are literally 4 miles from the one-of-a-kind retail experience that is Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. You just take a slight detour off Route 30 on Kidron Road, and you cannot miss it. Kidron is a quaint little charming village. Lehman's is a huge mammoth store on your right-hand side as you get into Kidron, and build in an hour and a half or so to stretch your legs, grab lunch in the cafe, grab a piece of fudge, maybe one piece if you got tremendous willpower, more than one piece if you don't. Check out their candy section, toy section, kitchen section, camping section. Unbelievable store. You will never, ever find another place like it on planet Earth. I guarantee you of that. Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. Use the Press Pros 10 promo code to get 10% off. You can browse their website 24/7, 365 to whet your appetite for the trip. They're online, of course, at lehmans.com. And a little birdie tells me we might have an extra Lehman's gift card or two to give away tonight on the show. There is the address on how you can win it. Go to pressproscontest@gmail.com, pressproscontest@gmail.com, and we will award a couple extra gift cards tonight. Our November card and maybe one or two more extras, depending on the number of entries that we get. So check it out right now. Can't wait to talk about more high school football, more college football tonight with you on the Press Pros Huddle Show. Follow us on Instagram at Press Pros Magazine. Follow us on Twitter at Press Pros Mag. Follow us on Facebook, of course, Press Pros Magazine. And thanks for watching this edition of the Lowdown. Share it with your friends, and we will talk football tonight at 8 o'clock on the PressProsMagazine.com Huddle Show, where you never pay for content, where you get the best narrative writing, the best feature photography, and we owe it all to our friends at Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. Until we see you tonight, have a great Monday.